Hey, how's it going everyone? This is the Anime Man. I'm sure with all of my past videos, my love for anime and all things anime have hopefully transitioned well with you guys. But I've noticed that I haven't really expressed my love for the other type of medium, which is very closely related to anime, and that is manga. Now, I am probably as big of a manga fan as I am an anime fan. And, you know, much like every kid who grew up reading manga, at one point, every kid has wanted to try and draw his or her own manga. Because everyone who does a creative job usually has someone who has inspired them to start doing such things, and that is no small feat. But there are some manga artists who are just a different level, I guess, and who have inspired generations and generations of amateur and professional manga artists out there. So today I've compiled a list of the top 10 influential manga artists of all time. Now keep in mind that these are not the top 10 successful manga artists. These are the top 10 influential artists. Now, of course, most, if not all, of the manga artists on this list are also successful. But the individual placements on this list is determined by how influential they were to either the world, other manga artists, or even communities outside of the manga community. So now that you got that in your head, let's get on with the list. At number 10, we have Urasawa Naoki. He's been known by many to be one of the few manga artists who have kind of changed the history of manga. Some of his best known works, including Monster and 20th Century Boys, have been cited by many professional and amateur manga artists as being one of the most complex and riveting storytelling methods that we have ever seen in manga. He was one of the first successful manga artists to bring intricate character developments and intertwining plots together to create some of the most timeless manga pieces ever made. Many will still say that his best known work, Monster, and the anime adaptation are one of the best manga and anime series ever made. Of course, that is up to debate, but I personally love his series 20th Century Boys, and I'm super surprised that hasn't been turned into an anime yet. Although it did get turned into 3 live action movies, which I would say were pretty good. But if you're an inspiring manga artist and an inspiring storyteller, then I definitely recommend you check out Urasawa Naoki's work. At number 9, we have Umezu Kazuo. Known as the godfather of horror manga, Umezu Kazuo's works have inspired generations of horror manga artists and really was one of the pioneering manga artists to develop the horror genre in the manga community. His most well-known work, The Drifting Classroom, won him the 20th Annual Shogakukan Manga Award in 1975. And his art style and way of narrative storytelling has also led him to do all sorts of other genres besides horror, including sci-fi and even comedy. Big names like Ito Junji and Inuki Kanako, who are known in the manga community as the king and queen of horror manga respectively, has cited that Umezu Kazuo has been one of the biggest influencing figures for their manga career. I mean, to be fair, Umezu Kazuo kind of looks like, you know, a gremlin himself, so I guess, you know, he's fitting the part. Umezu Kazuo's works have also been cited to be one of the biggest influences in early J-horror and even Western horror films. Now, compared to horror manga nowadays, his works may not be the scariest thing, but you gotta remember, these kinds of manga were made like almost 40 years ago, and to kids 40 years ago, this shit was fucking terrifying. I mean, in my opinion, The Drifting Classroom is still scary to this day to read, so if you haven't checked out Umezu Kazuo's works, and you're a big fan of horror manga or just horror in general, then I suggest you go check him out. Moving on to number 8, and we have a more fresher and I guess more well-known face in the manga community, and that is Oda Eiichiro. Okay, look, regardless of whether you like or dislike the series One Piece, you have to kind of commemorate and admit the huge success that series has made in the manga and anime community. In fact, with 345 million copies sold worldwide, it is the #1 best-selling manga series of all time. Not to mention that Oda Eiichiro's work has really influenced a lot of 21st century manga artists in both the shonen genre and even outside of the shonen genre. And also not to mention that Oda used to have an assistant working for him by the name of Mashima Hiro, who just so happened to also go and make a hugely successful shonen series. I mean, hey, I haven't caught up to One Piece, and it's not the best manga anime in the world, but it is enjoyable, and I'm honestly not surprised that it is the highest selling manga of all time, so GG, Oda. Moving on to number 7, and at number 7 we have Inoue Takehiko, arguably one of the coolest looking manga artists out there. I mean, look at this guy. He looks fucking badass as hell. He's recognized by many for his series Slam Dunk, which is one of the most successful sports manga ever created, but he is also well known for creating one of the most successful samurai-based manga out there, Vagabond. In fact, when Slam Dunk first came out in the 1990s, the Japanese government saw a huge explosive boost of Japanese high school kids doing basketball for school activities. To put it bluntly, slam dunk caused a cultural phenomenon in Japan in the 90s. And as a kid growing up in the 90s and as a kid growing up reading Slam Dunk, I was definitely also influenced by Slam Dunk to play a little bit of basketball. It also probably helped that Inoue was previously working as an assistant for another manga artist, Hojo Tsukasa, who is known by many to be the creator of the cult classic City Hunter series. But dude, Slam Dunk and Vagabond, if you guys haven't read those, then what are you doing? Go and check them out right now. At number 6, we're moving away from the shonen and into, I guess, the grandfather of comedy manga, and that is Akatsuka Fujio. Akatsuka is known by almost everybody in Japan for creating the cult classic comedy series Tensai Bakabon, and also creating other cult classics including Himitsu no Akko-chan and Osomatsu-kun. There is no comedy manga artist out there who didn't read up and who wasn't influenced by Akatsuka's works. In fact, his legacy actually lives on through the Akatsuka Awards, which is given to new manga artists who excel in the comedy manga genre. Not only for creators of comedy manga, but also for artists for comedy manga and redefining certain elements of the comedy genre in manga. And if you know the recent anime series Osomatsu-san, that is based off Osomatsu-kun, which is an Akatsuka Fujio work. Hence the reason why it's fucking hilarious. Moving on to the top 5, and at number 5 we have Takashi Rumiko. Takashi Rumiko is known to be one of the most successful female manga artists of all time, creating classics like Urusei Yatsura, Inuyasha, and Ranma Half. She is also known as one of the most available manga artists of all time as well. Most of her works being translated into almost every language and accessible through every language. And having been the most read manga artist of all time also makes her one of the most wealthiest women in Japan. And people said that manga artists don't earn any money. My personal favorite from Takashi Rumiko is Urusei Yatsura because it was the first manga series she ever made. I mean, Ramu-chan, the main character, holy shit, she's cute. I would do things to her. But if you haven't checked out Takashi Rumiko's works like Ranma Half, Urusei Yatsura, or Inuyasha, then I suggest you go check them out. They're a great read. Just shy of the top 3 at number 4, we have Matsumoto Reiji. Known as the father of sci-fi manga, Matsumoto is known for his series Uchu Senkan Yamato and Ginga Tetsudo 39. His most well-known work, Uchu Senkan Yamato, is known to be a series that marked a seminal age in sci-fi manga and anime. Matsumoto was one of the first sci-fi manga artists to take a more serious and complex approach to storytelling and add darker themes to sci-fi and mecha anime. This shift in storytelling and theming later went on to influence some of the biggest mecha and sci-fi series ever made, including Mobile Suit Gundam, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and the Macross series. Anno Hideaki, the creator of Evangelion, has cited Matsumoto Reiji as being one of his biggest influences. His other famous work, Ginga Tetsudo 39, is cited as being the influence for many of Daft Punk, the French house group's music videos for their Discovery album. If you guys saw the music videos for songs like Harder, Better, and One More Time, those are based off Matsumoto Reiji's artworks from Ginga Tetsudo 39. It also helped that Matsumoto himself actually sat in as an art supervisor for those music videos. And not to mention Matsumoto's wife also happens to be the creator of the ever successful Rika-chan dolls. Damn, that is an influential family. Moving on to the top 3 now, and at number 3 we have Fujiko F. Fujio. Now Fujiko F. Fujio is actually a pair of manga artists working under one single name. And while they created heaps of influential manga series during their partnership, their most well-known and successful manga series out there is without a doubt Doraemon, whose main character and mascot is often recognized as being a cultural icon in modern Japan. Almost 50 years after its first release, every generation of kids in Japan have read and grown up with Doraemon, including myself. Doraemon is actually one of the first manga series I ever read when I was a kid, and it instantly got me hooked on manga. So thank you, Fujiko Fujio. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. The runner-up at number 2 is a name that I'm pretty sure everybody in Japan knows, and a lot of people outside of Japan know, and that is Toriyama Akira. While boosting off his career with the ever-successful comedy manga Dr. Slump, he is without a doubt known to be the creator of one of the most successful manga series ever made, Dragon Ball. but he's also used his talent in art to contribute to some really successful gaming series out there, including Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and Blue Dragon. However, his success with the Dragon Ball series started a cultural manga movement in Japan. In fact, artists in this very list, like Oda Eiichiro and Inoue Takehiko, have cited Toriyama Akira as being one of their biggest influences. So there's no surprise that he is second, but who could be bigger than Toriyama Akira? Which brings us to our #1 most influential manga artist of all time, and that is Tezuka Osamu. While Toriyama Akira influenced hundreds and hundreds of amateur and professional manga artists of the 20th and 21st century, Tezuka Osamu was the one who inspired Toriyama. Known by many as the father of manga or even the god of manga, Tezuka was the manga artist who pioneered in different manga techniques, manga styles, and narrative structures that is not seen and known in many manga today. Some of his most well-known works include Astro Boy, Kimba the White Lion, Blackjack, and Phoenix, which have not only gone on to inspire manga artists and change the face of manga, but have also gone on to influence the likes of Disney and other Western cartoon animation productions. His legacy lives on with the Tezuka Award, which is the highest award that a manga artist can get. It is given usually to new manga artists who excel in storytelling and excel in manga narrative. To put it simply, if you grab yourself a Tezuka Award, then you can safely say that you've made it in the manga world. And here's a fun fact, you know the whole anime characters have big eyes stereotype? Well, that was invented by Tezuka Osamu. So if you like that style, then thank the father of manga. He did it once again. Anyways guys, that's it for my list. Tell me what you thought about it and tell me who your favorite manga artist was in this list by putting it in the comments below. Also, is there a manga artist that you possibly have never heard of in this list or you would like to go check out in this list? And also let me know of other influential manga artists that I possibly didn't put in this video. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. As always, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more on your banner and I'll see you guys next video, whatever I make. Keep watching anime.